Hey everyone, it's me, Yvonne Emil Elizondo from Silver Moon Counseling, also known as Silver Moon Astrology and Transpersonal Counseling. And this is video 2 that I'm rolling out today on the Pisces new moon. I just uploaded a Pisces new moon video, so if you're interested in that, take a look. It's an amazingly beautiful moon, dynamic in nature, but an amazing opportunity to really step into that sense of hope and that sense of conscious spirituality. So take a look at that. But this video is really more about some of this energy, this really hopeful, enthusiastic, spiritual type of energy that we have been working with and we're going to continue working with at least until April. And so I wanted to give you an idea of what that means and how that could potentially show up. Yeah, so let's get started. As I was doing a little bit of getting together, well, let me backtrack. All of these videos are pretty much impromptu, right? Like I look at the chart and I pick up and I read and, intuitively or astrologically or whatever, and I just share it with you. And so I don't do a lot of planning for these videos. Maybe I should, but I've just never been a planner. I have Mars in Pisces. Mars in Pisces is not a planner. Mars in Pisces goes with the flow. Like it is what it is. But anyhow, my point being that I was going through some of my astrology books and I came across this one. Okay, and a spiritual approach to astrology. And this book was originally put together in 1935. And this publication, when I have in my hands, is in 1983. I purchased, or I was given this book, I don't remember, but I don't know. Somehow I ended up with this book when I turned 17. And that's really when I started to dive into astrology. And so 1983, I was 13. So this book was technically right hot off the presses. 4 years later is when I got it. So, and I still use it today. I still go back to it. It's all the calculations in there, shows you how to do calculations by hand. That's how I was doing this stuff back then, right? Calculations by hand. So anyhow, super nostalgic, which is kind of like the energy that we're going to be working with, that we're already working with, especially with this Pisces new moon today. But this is more about this Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces. So I'm going to show you the chart. The chart is for today, the chart of the new moon, but I'm going to show you how this energy is going to filter out until after, I think, April 16th. I have to look at the chart, but let me just show you the chart one more time. Again, this is the new moon today, but the energy that we're going to be working with is this energy right here. Okay, so if you notice, today on the 3rd of, March, okay, Jupiter is at 14 degrees, 17 minutes, and Neptune is at 22 degrees, 28 minutes. They are in the sign of Pisces. Now, as we move forward in time, sorry, my voice is a little wacky today. As we move forward in time, Jupiter will eventually catch up with Neptune. And I believe the exact, it might help if I get my glasses on. Sorry. Yeah, so it's 23 degrees and 59 minutes. So when these two planets, come together at 23 degrees and 59 minutes, that's when we're going to have this amazing, beautiful exact conjunction. But we are starting to feel the energy of that already. So I just wanted to take some time and just kind of, let's put out there, let's discuss, let's chat, let me chat, you listen, and then feedback, however this works. What this really means and how this could potentially show up for you. So I did mention in the new moon video that this new moon is an opportunity for us to tap into that more collective consciousness, that more conscious spirituality, being consciously aware of our experience, which is very much what humanity needs right now. And it's interesting that this energy that's starting to ramp up, it is within those 10 degrees orb that I tend to use. So we're starting to feel this energy of Jupiter, right? That positive energy, that enthusiast, that sense of hope, that sense of goodness, the expansion, the teacher, okay, the knowledge, the wisdom seeker, the truth seeker of the zodiac, is really at home in Pisces. Okay, it belongs in Pisces. I believe, so there's two approaches, right? That Jupiter belongs only to Sagittarius, and then that Neptune belongs to Pisces. However, I practice a traditional approach to astrology, which says that Jupiter belongs to Sagittarius and to Pisces, and Neptune feels more comfortable in Pisces. It's maybe like a co-ruler, but not, it's not the primary ruler from my point of view, because I'm a traditionalist, right? Capricorn, hello. Okay. Anyhow, Jupiter energy is at home in Pisces, right? So this feeling of goodness and hope, and I can accomplish stuff, is really awesome. And then this Neptune energy it creates like the sense of etherealism on a higher vibration. It could create the sense of etherealism, right? The sense of higher dimensional spirituality, the sense of collectiveness. Neptune doesn't have any boundaries. On a lower vibration, it could create idealism and an inaccuracy of your experience. You can't really gauge whether something is real, true, or not. And so Jupiter on a lower vibration can tap into that sense of being over-indulgent, right? Being overly enthusiastic, failing to see the faults within this situation. And so we're working with this energy. And when these two planets come together, it is a hyper sense of hope and goodness. And, I can accomplish anything and I can absolutely do anything. And it's amazing. But at the same time, if we're not careful, because both planets are expansive, right? Jupiter expands to the point that Saturn is, okay? And then Neptune is beyond Saturn. Saturn is the boundary holder. Neptune is beyond Saturn, so there is no boundary. Yes, there is no boundary, or there are no boundaries, okay, to Neptune. Sometimes that can get us in trouble too. So what does this mean, right? Well, it just kind of really depends on the energy that you're working with in your own individual chart. That's why I always encourage that you have a reading, preferably with me, okay, an astrology consultation. And once you know where in the chart this is happening for you, we could go ahead and tap into some do's, some don'ts, maybe some be cautious, or hey, this is going to work out really well for you. But in my chart, my personal chart, it's activating my 11th house. Okay. And this is actually, so my 11th, let's take a step back. The 11th house in my chart represents collective organizations, large groups of people, okay, networking, my larger friend group, my goals, my dreams, my hopes, okay, it represents all of that. And Mars is in Pisces. And so this energy is going to activate my Mars. And one of the goals that I've set for myself, I'm not a highly technical person. In fact, if you watch any of my videos, you know that technology pretty much hates me. And batteries tend to run down on me very, very, very quickly. Anyways, one of the goals that I set was to become more technologically in tuned and to become more socially networky. Yes, because that Piscean energy in my 11th house is about social networks. So I'm actually going to start TikTok. I know, I'm so scared. I don't know how to use it, but I'm going to try. So watch out for TikTok videos from me. You can laugh as much as I do, I guess. So, but this is the perfect day to start, and the perfect time, not just today, not just on the new moon, but I'm initiating it on the new moon. But this is the energy that we're going to be working with. These two beautiful planets come together in a conjunction in Pisces on, I think it's April 16th, if I'm not mistaken, April 12th. Yeah, April 12th. Okay, Tuesday, April 12th at 9:42 p.m. 9:42 a.m. Central Standard Time. So what can we do with this lovely energy? Well, okay, so I'm Capricorn everything and Taurus rising, right? So just about Capricorn everything. So I have a lot of Earth in my chart. And this energy moving over my Mars has made me so hopeful, has made me so like, wow, I'm so enthusiastic. I'm getting up in the mornings and I've got my plans and I got my planner, and I'm not like that typically. Typically, I'm like, oh, well, another day. We have to get up. And I rolled myself out of bed. So I am really, really enjoying this energy right now. Like, I'm like, wow, is this how Jupiter people live? Like, this is pretty cool. I'm more Saturnian. If you know anything about Saturn, you know that Saturn is not a fun energy. So right now I'm like, oh, I'm enjoying this. I wish I could bottle it up and just like keep it forever because this is awesome. So maybe you're feeling that way, right? So right now is really the perfect time. If you want to initiate something, if you want to start having that hope, for the future, okay, maybe looking into some things that you want to establish in the future, or just a sense of fun, enthusiasm, spiritualness, because we really need that right now. This is going to be the perfect time to do that. Just be aware that you need to be cautious not to overindulge or to overlook the red flags. Make sure that you're tapping into some of those boundaries, being more realistic than idealistic. And if you have a hard time with that, come to someone like me with Saturn and we'll tell you the truth. Like we'll set those boundaries for you. So anyhow, this energy is beautiful. Enjoy it, love it. It really is a spiritualness. And I'm on this spirituality kick, obviously, because this energy is about spirituality and because my whole career is based on spirituality, right? But right now we are in a place where we want to tap into that conscious awareness, and that conscious awareness elevates our spiritualness. And when we elevate our spiritualness, we can have more wellness, right? So just think about this. There's an amazing book called The Awakened Brain, and I believe it's by, I think her name is Linda Mills. I'll put it in the description below, but she's a PhD and a scientist, and she's done a bunch of work, I think, at Harvard, and she worked with Yale University. Anyhow, long story short, I love that book. Read it. It's amazing. This is not a paid promotion, but it is an amazing book. And one of the statistics that came out of her research pretty much established that if a child is raised in a spiritual environment, not necessarily religious, religion is the structure, the rules, right? In a spiritual environment that encourages self-awareness, self-love, love for humanity, altruism, okay, in a manner that facilitates growth, not stunting, okay, facilitates connection, not division, facilitates love, not guilt, okay. If they are raised in a spiritual environment, they are 80%, okay, less likely to develop depression. 80%, 80%, that is huge, okay? They are 60% less likely to develop addiction habits. Just think about that. And that's all spirituality. So check out the book, okay? Check out the new moon video that I posted earlier and start tapping into your own sense of goodness. We really need this. If we tap into the sense of goodness, then others will tap into the sense of goodness, and hopefully we'll have like a much better human experience. So if you want to learn more about spirituality, if you are seeking mental health counseling, especially in Texas, reach out. You can find me at silvermooncounseling.org. That's silvermooncounseling.org. If you want to tap into just doing an astrological reading, a psychological natal reading, if you want to know some transits or some cycles that you're tapping into, you can find me at the same place, silvermooncounseling.org, Silver Moon Astrology and Transpersonal Counseling, aka Silver Moon Counseling. All right, everyone. I'm feeling the really good vibe. Like, please don't nobody ruin it for me. Nobody. I love y'all. Take care. Blessed be.